And welcome back, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome back to HC6. Last couple of matches here in the round of 16 weekend. It's now me, your boy T1G. We're switching over. Big shout outs to Mr. Rob and to Crystal as well for streaming and commentating the early block matches today. Those two put in some serious hours this morning, so thank you to both of them. But we're here to close things out with the last couple of matches going on at the same time here. We've got Kyle Painters versus Maxwell. We've got One Dance versus Paz Dos and Mao, and we're gonna be finishing up. Oh, cool! I love Spotify. We're gonna be finishing up the weekend here with these two to determine our last quarterfinals match and our last couple of losers round 2 matchups for next weekend. Try to keep you updated on the other matches we are ongoing with this one here. But we've got stuff getting started already. We've got the teams in the lobby. We've got Maxwell banning first. We've got Maxwell also picking first. Had to check and verify that. And we've got him peeling. Okay. So, already bans starting to come in. We've got Nomad 2 banned out from Maxwell. Nomad 1 banned out from Kyle Painters. A lot of action, this weekend. We're 14 matches into the 16 for this week, and we've had I think a nicely mixed bag of results. We had that epic tiebreaker finish with Karcher and Wooting 60 HE this morning. We had a very close battle between Polska and Potatoes a little bit ago. And, we've had some more one-sided affairs. On 6-1 over Nanasil, Reginald 6-1 over Angle Bracket _ Angle Bracket, Irishman 2 6-0 over So, starting to get into the meat of the tournament, though, getting some of the slightly weaker teams eliminated and getting the stronger teams kind of starting to show themselves. And this match is going to do a little more of that. One of these teams goes to the quarterfinals to face off against the winner of the other match, which is probably, if I had to predict, going to be One Dance. But this one is a little harder to predict, as we get DT6 and Hard Rock 1 as the last couple of bands here. So Team Kyle Painters, you got Lane, El Condor Pasa, Woodsea, Curtis, Korean Malako, You're Cute, Pikapun, Kyle, and Matthew. Team Maxwell, we saw them last week. Rouge, Aleph, Rhythmic RS, Mahmoud, Gemsi, Queen Lizzie, Listia Catburger, and Mackie Donalds. And I do think this is going to be a pretty hard-fought affair. Oh, it looks like they reverted. Plasma is back to being Plasma. Thank the Lord. Praise be to Allah that he has reverted his name change. We're gonna go fix that because name was kind of silly. All right, this is now Plasma. There we go. We now await the first pick from Kyle Painters. I guess we're just using the entire timer. And it's going to be double time number 3 as map number 1. That is going to take us into On the Bounce, which is a very interesting first pick in my humble estimation. Because this is just not the sort of thing that a lot of players are comfortable with. We'll load the players in, we'll load up the mods, we'll get everything going, and we'll get underway here for our final match on stream of the weekend. VT3 here. Just a minute long. It's the shortest map in the pool. Very high starting. It's 7.22 stars because the bursts and finger control are just not the most comfortable. And it's that kind of old style awkward linear aim, which is kind of the defining factor, I think, of this double time pool, where you see that sort of thing come up pretty frequently. Old style bursts and speed and a little bit of aim is kind of just more than half of this DT pool. Very old DT pool in general. And I may be missing somebody in slot 4, not sure. Whoa. Alright, we're going. So we've got Pikapun, Corey and Maliko, Matthew, and Curtis for Kyle Painters. Plasma, Catburger, Gemsy, and Listia for Maxwell. Pikapun, Matthew, Gemsy, and Listia, the hidden players. Some folks who were pretty comfortable with older maps. I mean, Matthew, obviously pretty well known for this sort of thing. Pikapun, just a really good hidden player. Maliko, Curtis, obviously usually pretty strong on DT. But things starting off not very well for Kyle Painters. Early lead over to Maxwell as they maintain their 4-way at full combo, whereas Kyle Painters has had all 4 members miss within the first 200 combo. Not what you want to see, as Catburger and Listia fall on the side of Maxwell, but Gemsy and Plasma are just going to run with this because it is such a short map. We're already halfway through, and their lead is, well, it's more than double their opponent's score currently. Almost 7 million to 3.3 million, and this is kind of uncomebackable already. This is going to be a very quick first pick break point. Going away of Maxwell. Precisely how they would like to start this match off, and exactly the way that Kyle Painters do not. This is a nightmare scenario for your first pick to just get absolutely demolished. It ends up being a 10 million point victory, more than double the score of their opponents. So Maxwell, the very, very solid performance. Double FC for Plasma and Gemsy, despite the low AC on Gemsy. And, not great backing scores from Catburger and Listia, but it actually just didn't matter because Plasma and Gemsy plus either of the other two would have 2v4'd Kyle Painters, who just, I don't know. I couldn't tell you what happened there. Yeah, I don't know. I have really no answer for what just happened because, if you guys were watching the stream yesterday, Woey and I talked about giving people the benefit of the doubt when they pick something and lose it, because, you got to figure that they got good scores on it in practice. That's why they wanted to pick it. But when you first pick a map like that and you get sub 10 million across 4 players, with no one even getting over 4 million, I know it's a high variance map. I will absolutely attest to the fact this is a very high variance map based on what we've seen this weekend. But that still just does not look like a team that was ready for that pick at all, despite it being their own first map. So we'll have to see if Kyle Painters can recover going forward. It is only one map, and it is a best of 11, so there's a lot of time left in the match. But that is exactly the wrong way to start it off. And so we will go into the first pick from Maxwell. We'll see how their first selection goes for them. And it is going to be Nomad 3, so that was the first pick in the other match for Team 1 Dance. It's going to be the first pick here for Team Maxwell. Brick by brick, talk by tick. The tricky aim alt map that is 2.5 minutes long, but it feels about twice that. I don't know why. This map just feels like it goes on for a long time as the patterns keep coming at you and getting more and more progressively difficult over the course of its length. You go maybe about a third of the way through, and then things just kind of ramp up from there. We have seen several FCs on this. There are players getting very good scores on it, but it is also easy to just run it down mid and fully int the aim patterns in this map. So I'll have to see how everybody does this go around. Looks like we've already got most of the players in. It's going to be, it appears, Rouge, Catburger, Listia, and Plasma for Maxwell. You're Cute, Korean Moloko. Oh, no, Mahmood for Maxwell. You're Cute, Korean Moloko, Matthew, and a fourth to be named later. Future first-round draft pick. It's Kyle. No surprise there. Kyle very good at awkward aim. Looks like we are set, so the instant empty start comes out, and we're going to go ahead into our second map of this match. See if Maxwell can consolidate the first pick break point. Take that 2-0 lead that they could then try to run with the rest of the way, assuming that everybody loads in. There we go. So we're going to have Yercute and Kyle on the hiddens for Kyle Painters, Catburger and Listia, the hiddens for Maxwell. You're going to see Listia on hidden a lot. Obviously, the, one trick has a negative connotation, but Listia is kind of the resident hidden one trick for that roster. We'll always just toss on the mod so that somebody else doesn't have to, as a very comfort mod hidden player. And, the name of the game here is going to be keeping your combo for the first, what did I say, about third to half of the map, where the patterns are a little simpler. You've got a couple of cut stream patterns, but nothing over the top difficult. But you really need to have those combos intact up to the point where the map starts to really accelerate in difficulty. And unfortunately for Kyle Painters, Kyle was the first break. Still 7 FCs on the board. There goes Matthew. Another one of those slightly awkward cut patterns. It's not really gotten hard yet, and they're already down 2 FCs, so Maxwell try to take advantage of that if they can hold for the next little while here as we get into these first couple of tricky patterns. There goes Yercute also. That was a break on a slider, it looked like. Not what you want to see there. Here we go, back and forths. And everyone except for Catburger on Maxwell's side hit. Whereas Kyle Painters, unfortunately, Yercute and Matthew quite far behind this lead. It's kind of steady, but it's now down to just the 2 FCs, Rouge and Mahmood, with no combo on Catburger or on Listia. So Korean Moloko and Kyle are in a position to bring this one back for Kyle Painters, but they need some breaks from Maxwell. They need a little help. And there's some of the help they needed. There goes Mahmood. It's now down to just Rouge, and Korean Moloko and Kyle are still holding the big combos. The FC on Korean Moloko matching. Kyle with a big combo backing it up. This score is gonna come down, and it is going to go back over if things continue with the combos we see right now. It's a 700k lead, and that's nothing. Over it flicks. Korean Moloko and Kyle holding on for dear life to try to take this win and take the break point back. Kyle Painters putting themselves in a good spot here. They do find a break of Kyle on the squares, but Korean Moloko hits, and that's going to do it. Yercute also hitting that square pattern, and Korean Moloko is going off here. This is exactly what Kyle Painters needed out of him on a map like this. He even hits the star at the end for good measure. That's a full combo for the Brazilian player, and that ties it up 1-1. The break point right on back over. Both teams dropping their first picks of this match. And we're on level footing after 2. That is a really good play from Korean Moloko. I mentioned, we have seen some very good scores on this, and that puts another one on the pile. Very difficult to maintain your consistency and aim through that entire map, as those patterns kind of just throw themselves at you. Witted himself well. Go over to the second pick for Kyle Painters. Match all tied up. Level footing. You can paint a jet ski yellow like a duck. Master of the Chaniverse, there ain't no trick. Curious to see, if your first pick is DT3 and it goes really, really badly, but then you win Nomad 3, which is kind of an alt aim. You do have like Tide Machine, which is also, alty, if that's like something you really want to lean into. Obviously the DT6 ban takes that away. That's actually an interesting, I just realized Maxwell banned DT6, which is high BPM DT alt aim, and then first picked alt aim. I do think DT6 probably harder just because it's so fast, but still, that's kind of an interesting little quirk of their ban and first pick. We're gonna get Lilith as the next pick for Kyle Painters. So we're gonna do more alt, but this time it's gonna have Hard Rock applied. I love alternating, is my favorite. Nothing quite like alternating. I just love using both fingers to tap notes. That could have been taken out of context, I apologize. that's a huh. I feel like we haven't seen this map a whole lot. Looking back at the picks, I mean, it's been picked 4 times in now 15, I guess, matches. So, I mean, it's not super uncommon, but it's not super common either. It's not like, you know, Nomad 3 has been picked now 13 times, DT1 has been picked 11 times. How did Catburger just keyboard spam a ligature? Can you do that on a European style keyboard? Is that a thing you can do? Somebody let me know. I guess if you can just do that on a, like, whatever the European keyboard format is called. Not something I can think of offhand, but maybe that's just feasible, I guess. In we go. You're cute, Korean Malco Kyle Woodsey. Wait, did he name change back? Wasn't his name WDC like 2 days ago? He reverted that? I thought that name was kind of aesthetic. I know a lot of people didn't like it as much. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, Gemsy, Catburger, Listia, and Rhythmic RS on the other side. Hiddens on You're Cute Kyle, Gemsy, and Listia. To get a nice kind of lineup with the players on the left with Hidden, the players on the right without. And early break again for Kyle. He's just getting those nerves out, you know? Miss early on, and then you can FC the rest of the map. Same thing for Listia. Hidden players breaking on both sides. Not going to really affect much. No mod advantage to be gained for either team. One of those, you know, longer picks that does lean a little more into some free combo sections. And then you get into the key eyes and things just accelerate quickly. You're Cute Kyle and Capper all breaking. The Korean Malco and Woodsey against Gemsy and Rhythmic RS, but Listia has the superior backing combo. Will be able to drag this score back on over for Maxwell. But the break does occur, so now it's just 2 FCs against 2. Backing combo more or less negligible. Score gap should stay about exactly where it is right now. Another break for Listia. Yeah, the question mark, I get that. That was a weird, like, little slider break. I don't know, over aim or something. But that is going to give a bit of a combo lead to Kyle Painters. It's going to be helped out a little more by Catburger breaking once again. It is still going to be those FCs, though, that are the most important players to watch out for. You've got Korean Malco, Woodsey, Gemsy, and Rhythmic RS. Gemsy does have the Hidden, so it kind of helps mitigate the lack of combo a little bit, since neither of the Hidden players is still FCing for Kyle Painters. But what Maxwell, you know, gains in the Hidden advantage, they lose out on with the lower combo on the other 2 players. So it's not going to be enough to really help them out. It's You're Cute and Kyle on the 470 and 370 combos. Into the next key eye. Let's see, what can these 4 FCs do? Will they just continue to hold on and match each other? Or will we get a break? It's going to be Gemsy. That is the other Hidden FC now gone for Maxwell. That's a big, big lead for Kyle Painters. That is not the situation you want to be in if you're Maxwell. Kyle breaks. That's not the one that matters. It's all about Korean Malco and Woodsey on the FCs. Very impressive hard rock alt plays coming out from both of them now, about 2/3 of the way through the lead. A little under 10 million points. But it will still continue to grow with the double FC and the big backing combo of You're Cute as well. There goes Rhythmic RS. No FCs left on Maxwell. Step on the fire, calling the dogs, boys. This map just came to an abrupt ending. Really not much coming back from this one, even with the double 500 combos on Catburger and Listia, considering that Korean Malco and Woodsey both are matching that by themselves. Kyle Painters is in a pretty good spot. It looks like they're going to put our first one pick on the board here, unless something really drastic happens in the last quarter of the map. Woodsy does finally break the FC, but Korean Moloko holds on. And Kyle Painters will look to take the 2-1 lead pretty convincingly, too. 17 million points, that advantage now thanks to the FC and that big backing combo. Respectable performances here from Maxwell. The team doing pretty well for itself, but you know, 2 FCs lasting as long as they did for Kyle Painters, and Korean Moloko still on the FC. It's very hard to fight against that. Korean Moloko does finally break. We will not see an FC on this map this go around, but he did his job. He put in the work, he put in the hard hours, and he'll be rewarded with another 1 pick. It's going to be 2-1 Kyle Painters. They're back-to-back alt maps. Kyle Painters wins both of them. Maxwell with a couple of strong combos there at the end. Gemsy and Listia bringing things into the station with some pretty decent combo, but they were too little too late. Now it will be their own pick. 2-1 down. On serve, as it were, here. Take a look at our other match that is also ongoing. It is likewise 2-1 there. No break points yet. One Dance has won 2 picks of their own. Paus Dosian Mao has won 1. They're on map number 4, which is BT1 over in that match. Paus Dosian Mao has been a very surprising team to me. I did not expect them to perform as well as they have been. With the pretty convincing win last week over the Dutch team, number 33 OWC. We'll see how they can acquit themselves against One Dance, who are, of course, one of those top couple of teams in the tournament. You look at the roster of One Dance, and it looks like they should just be running through that match in no time, but their opposition strong. We're going to go DT2. It's going to be Drive My Life. We're going to be doing a bit of tapping. We're going to be playing a bit of speed. We did have, of course, the Nomad 2 ban from Maxwell, and now they're picking DT2. So this team, they banned DT alt aim, and then they picked Nomad alt aim. They banned Nomad streams, and now they're picking DT streams. I'm not quite sure I get it. I mean, granted, this map is 50 BPM higher than Nomad 2, but still, I'm a little bit taken aback by the strats here. This is some really next level stuff. See if this one works out better for them than the Nomad 3 pick did, though. That really did not end up the way they would have liked. Maybe this one goes better. This Kyle Patriots team is kind of scary on speed. I'm honestly not as familiar with the speed capabilities of Team Maxwell. But, I mean, Kyle Painters, they have the Curtis Woodsy pretty good at... Whoa, what are we doing? What in the hell? Dude, my client is on something today. I swear this lobby was not full, but it is full. I don't know what's going on. Green Moloko, Curtis, Woodsy, and Kyle. Gemsy, Rouge, Olive, and Rhythmic RS in for some Toho tapping. Maxwell, I would say, kind of need to win this. You don't want to lose 3 points in a row, with 2 of them being break points. this early on, let the other team have that kind of momentum and have them in a spot where they know they're winning on multiple skill sets as well. And Curtis doing the standard speed player thing, missing on aim on a tapping map. The infamous speed player agenda. Me when there is a 3-star jump in my 8-star tapping map. I don't know. It just feels like that happens way too often. That's going to give Maxwell a little bit of a lead. It's about a 200 combo advantage, and now even more as Kyle is the next to break. Of all the people in Kyle Painters who could break on this map, I feel like Curtis was probably the last one, since that's literally his skill set. You know, Kyle may be a little bit less surprising to see miss on a map like this. But we'll see what happens the rest of the way. Just under halfway through. It's a 4 million point lead. Team Maxwell with the 4-way full combo still alive. And they get through the next stream without issue. Very solid accuracy, 399s and a high 98. And this is already trending toward over. Looks like it is going to end up being a pretty good pick for Maxwell. Unless they absolutely fall apart in the last third. There are, I believe, 2 more streams of note in this map. And it's Rouge missing on literal air. All right, opening the door just a little bit, just a tiny crack in that doorway. There goes Olive. Now the door is open. The problem for Kyle Painters is that Kyle does not have much of a combo, but Korean Malco and Woodsy are matching Gemsy and Rhythmic RS, and Curtis has a 600+ combo that is going to work at bringing the score back. I don't know if there's enough time. It's 4 million points. It's just a bit of combo left at the ending here. This is going to come down to the wire, but I think Maxwell may have done enough to have an unassailable lead. It is going to be quite close into this ending, but Kyle breaks right at the end, and that is enough for Maxwell to hold on. The early break from Curtis ended up being the difference maker. If he had not broken right at the start there in that first couple hundred combo, Kyle Painters would have taken that. But instead, it is Maxwell by 1 million points. 1.3 million. All that there was separating the teams. The double FC from Rhythmic RS and Gemsy doing enough work. And unfortunately, the early break from Curtis and the multiple side breaks from Kyle were the undoing of Kyle Painters, who really had a good opportunity to take another break point there. Double FC from Korean Malco and Woodsy with incredible accuracy on both. 99.58, 99.68, 2 best accuracies in the lobby by a pretty considerable margin. It looks like Kyle Painters kind of had 4th player syndrome. 96 AC, multiple slider breaks from Kyle. Not quite the strongest performance that they would have hoped to have, but it was on an opponent pick, so not the end of the world. It just ties things up 2-2. All right, next pick, Fremont 3. We're going to go some more speed. Maxwell picked the speedy DT, and Kyle Painters, after making a run at a break point but not quite pulling it off, are going to pick a speedy Fremont of their own right back. It's on 259 BPM, so very similar. Another one where it feels like often determined by aim rather than by speed. The interesting quirk, as I kind of talk about frequently with slots like Nomad 5, DT2, DT3, now Fremod 3, now that it's kind of been co-opted into a speed slot. The speed, despite being the identifying characteristic of those maps, is almost never the hard part. Because speed is such a binary construct in this game. You either can play it or you can't. And so if you're a player that's in for a map like this, you're probably never going to have trouble with the speed, and you're going to miss on the aim. We saw that happen, you know, in the last pick, that early break from Curtis on the little aim. You know, there's a couple of awkward aim patterns in this map that have the exact same issue. It's a very interesting thing, because on aim maps, aim players still miss on aim, but on speed maps, speed players also miss on aim. Like, it's just the most bizarre dichotomy of Osu skill sets. And in our other match, One Dance has just won 3 picks in a row, Nomad 6, DT1, DT3. So they now have a 4-1 lead over Paus Dosian Mao. That was my fear for the latter team in that matchup. Unfortunately, just a bit overmatched, I think, across the board. One Dance with that all-star roster looking very, very strong. And they'll be, you know, obviously a contender for the whole thing. The winner of that, of course, plays the winner of this. So there is a vested interest here. You know, in these teams kind of keeping an eye on what's going on. All right. We are missing a mod. So we will get a mod. Looks like we need another hidden. So into free mod 3 we'll go shortly. Once we get a second hidden, it's gonna be Pikapun and Korean Malco on the hiddens for Kyle Painters, Listia and Gemsy on the hiddens for Maxwell. You can tell this isn't a real speed map because Listia is in for it again. And so, like, you know, the last map, which was genuinely like the only hard aspect of it is tapping, Listia went out as a player who can get by on speed but isn't a speed player. And on this one, where the focus is actually on the aim more so than on the high BPM bursts, Listia can come on back in and just get through those bursts and be a better aim player than the speed specialists on the team, while also being very, very comfortable on hidden. And as I say that, proceeds to completely full miss an entire burst. Oh, that's all on me. That's all on me. I'm so sorry. Korean Malco under aims the next stream, as does Gemsy, and they both full miss that stream. I feel like that happens a lot on this map. Curtis breaking on the aim. And it's now Pikapun and Woodsy against Rhythmic RS and Plasma. So just watch the bottom row. That's all that matters, it would seem. And there goes Pikapun. There goes Plasma. Woodsy versus Rhythmic RS and no mod players. This map is easier on Nomad than on either mod, certainly. Interesting, no hard rocks in this. I feel like we've typically seen at least 1 or 2 per lobby. I think this map is, for a player who's good at hard rock speed, easier on that mod than on hidden, but maybe none of these teams having a player really fits that description, I suppose. Hero Plasma and Pikapun again, or sliders catching him out. And the lead on the side of Kyle Painters by a couple million points. Woodsy and Rhythmic RS putting on a good show. 2% accuracy lead for Rhythmic RS with backing scores what matter. Green Malco Curtis on a 500 combo apiece, breaking at about the same point. And that's going to bring this one in for Kyle Painters. Woodsy breaks the FC at the very end. Rhythmic RS closes his FC out. And a 4 million point victory is achieved for Kyle Painters. They go up again with a 3-2 advantage. Curtis with an S rank. Those sliders are devilish in this pick. Would see the 3 misses at the very end. The accuracy lets you know that he wasn't quite as comfortable on that as maybe some others. Rhythmic RS 99.39, 5/100. Really pretty good showing there. All right, come on, game. There we go. Next pick, Team Maxwell. I don't know what to expect them to go here. Maybe, honestly, maybe a DT4? Kind of aimy, though. I mean, you've got 4 Nomads still available. Nomads 4 through 7 all up. But I don't really feel like that team leans into those, you know, kind of gimmick skill sets. So I don't know that any of those picks are going to feel like all that good for them. Hard Rock 1, of course, banned out. Nomad 1 banned out, so they don't get to play aim. Could be a DT1 angle. I get the feeling that they go back to DT. It's going to be DT5 instead, so we're going to get Tide Machine. Well... Flow alt DT with some aim thrown in, right? This is kind of akin to Nomad 3, where you've got plenty of flow aim patterns, but there are also some jump patterns, those stars and such. I think a little more difficult on average, but it doesn't spike quite as hard as where's that? Was that Northern Ireland? Doesn't spike quite as hard as Nomad 3, so curious to see how the players end up performing on this map after already having played a couple of alt aim types of picks. Also, banger. I feel obligated to say this is like one of my favorite songs in the pool. Of course, a well-known pretty famous map. This one's been around since 2011. Everybody knows about the history of FCs and chokes. Many top players have kind of weathered on this one. And we're going to get underway. It's Kyle, Korean Moloko, Woodsy, and You're Cute, Rouge, Gemsy, Rhythmic RS, and Catburger. Away we go. You can kind of see, there are plenty of flow patterns in this, so it does have that, flow alt aspect to it. But they're a little aimier. There's a little more aim required than just pure flow pattern. And it is catching Kyle Painters hard, as they have already dropped 3 of their 4 FCs versus only 1 on the side of Maxwell, who are going to take an early 2 million point lead. And there goes You're Cute. Perhaps this play will not be that cute. Aim. And there goes Catburger and Korean Moloko on the star jump. Double FC still for Gemsy and Rhythmic RS, though, and there's really nothing to speak of on the side of Kyle Painters. This feels just like a throwaway. I mean, this is not close at all. This is going the way that DT2 did. Wow, that was 6 misses all at once. I don't know what was so hard about that particular pattern, but literally 6 players in the lobby are gone, and it's down to Rouge and Rhythmic RS. This is going to be a very, very nasty-looking scoreline by the time all is said and done. Rhythmic RS and Rouge both hit the jump, and was that a 4-way break? Let's see, how many did we do, bro? 3-way break for Kyle Painters on it. Yikes. All right, this is like shield your children's eyes, not safe for work, R-rated type of one-sided affair. A 20 million point lead for Team Maxwell. Rhythmic RS is actually 1v4ing. Yep. Okay. Rhythmic RS just 1v4'd. I guess that was not a map that Kyle Painters could play. Wow. They double their opponent's score if you take out Rouge's entire 10 million. I mean, I don't even know. That's that is yeesh.
Als ik denk aan al die dagen dat ik mij zo heb misdragen, dan denk ik, had ik maar een tijdmachine. Ja. Als ik denk aan al die dagen dat ik mij zo heb misdragen.
So 3-3 tie. Things still staying quite evenly matched in this one. After those couple of early break points, we're just winning picks. That's four straight. Traded break points on the first 2 picks, and then nobody has gotten a break point since then. As opposed to One Dance versus Paus Dosi and Mao, which has already finished 1-1 after 2 maps, and then One Dance won 5 picks in a row for the 6-1 victory. Kind of went how you would have expected it to, frankly. Did have hopes for Paus Dosi and Mao that they could make it interesting, but that One Dance team is just scary. So well done to them. They'll advance onward into the quarterfinals, where, as mentioned, they will face the winner of this match. Am I just now realizing that there is just like an absurd amount of alt in this pool? We're going Fremod 1 as the next pick, and this is also alt. So we've got Nomad 3 that's alt. Nomad 5 that's kind of, well, it's low BPM. I don't know if that really counts as alt. Hard Rock 2 alt. Hard Rock 3 alt. DT5 alt. DT6 alt. Fremod 1 alt. Fremod 2 alt tech. There's so much alt in this pool. All right, and away we go to our next pick here. Back into the free mod pool. Let's see, Cream Malco, You're Cute, Pikapuan, Rhythmic RS, Gemsy, Plasma, and Cat Burger. A burger made out of cats. Some picked by Kyle Painters. Just more and more alt, just pile it on. This one does have like some slider aim aspects to it. But, you know. Get early breaks. Pikapuan at the very start, but Rhythmic RS and Gemsy a little bit farther through, right at the 200 combo mark. And already halfway in. Bit of a lead now for Kyle Painters as all 4 members of Maxwell have broken. We did see a 4-way on this map yesterday from, I believe it was Team Reginald. 3-way looks possible for Kyle Painters as they have maintained Woodsy, Cream Malco, and You're Cute the whole way. Pikapuan, unfortunately, will prevent them from pulling off that feat, and Woodsy misses in the aim at the end. Pikapuan actually failing, it looks like, but doesn't matter. Still a win for Kyle Painters in a 4-3 lead. Gamble gone wrong. That did not go wrong. That was Kyle Painters' pick. I don't feel like that went wrong. I mean, I don't know what the gamble was for the side of Maxwell since it wasn't their pick. You're not gambling on your opponent's pick. I don't know. And we're gonna go to the DT1 as kind of predicted previously. I thought we might see that as a pick from Maxwell, and here it is. Fake Me, Science Adventure Dance Remix, another short one, just a minute and a half long. Hey guys, I heard you like DT pools with bursts and a little bit of aim, so we gave you a DT pool with like 4 different maps that are bursts with a little bit of aim. This is not DT2 number 2. DT2 is DT1 number 2, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess we could have the argument about that. Is this DT1 more like a DT2, or is that DT2 more like a DT1? I think that DT2 is a how many bursts are in the DT2? Is it 5, maybe 6? And away we will go. Oh, just kidding. Something's wrong. I don't know what. Okay, now we're going again. I don't know. Nothing appears to have changed. So, whatever. Unless somebody changed the mod, I don't know. Anyway, Curtis, Kareem Alco, Woodsy, Kyle, Rhythmic RS, Gemsy, Olive, and Rouge. Place your bets now on who will miss on aim. Vote now on your phones. It says, I don't know. I mean, it's got aim and bursts, but like it does feel more like a DT1 to me, at least. Because you've got those kind of old style. These are like such. I actually don't know exactly how old this map is, but it kind of reminds me of like a 2011, 2012 aim style. Maybe trending toward 2013. I mean, I know this map is around that old, if not a little bit older, but there's a certain stylistic aspect to it. And early breaks from Curtis and Kareem Malako, so Maxwell with a big lead. Kyle the next. It's matched by Olive, but it's still a 3-way from Rhythmic RS, Gemsy, and Rouge. Would see the only FC left for Kyle Painters. That lead is 6 million points, and we're already 2/3 of the way through. And there go 3 members of Kyle Painters again. All right. Well, 4-4 is going to be the score. We're going to come down to the last pick for each team. Maybe we get a tiebreaker. Who knows? Doesn't feel like either of these teams has really been particularly close to a break point since the very beginning of the match. And another just incredibly one-sided affair on a pick for Maxwell. This is going to be another score doubling, it looks like, or at least very close to it. Yeah, not... yep, 22, so yep, exactly double. Oh, wait, that doesn't have Kareem Alco's score, I don't think, so it's not. But it's still close. It's still... Yeah, that was... Oh, Kareem Alco failed. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's actually irrelevant, but still. Go to the final pick for Kyle Painters. I don't think there's any alt aim left. Highlight, there's Hard Rock 3. We're just picking more alt, dude. What the heck? So they went hard. They went D3, lost it. Then they won the break point on Nomad 3. Then they go Hard Rock 2, Free Mod 3, Free Mod 1, Hard Rock 3. There's actually just all of the alt you could possibly imagine. This is kind of wild. So, as mentioned, this is the final pick for Team Kyle Painters. Whoever wins this will have the match's single, lone, solitary, individual, sole match point. And whoever loses this will have to win the next map to try to force a tiebreaker. So you could you could make the case that there is perhaps just a small amount of pressure at this juncture in this match, which has been just balanced on a knife edge the entire way through. It was 2-1 Kyle Painters, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3. I mean, just the whole way through. It has neither team has ever been able to take any sort of lead. So they've traded break points and just nothing since then, but held points. And now we go into Nevermore. Little hard rock, little alt sort of slider, aim heavy. Got Your Cute, Cream, Moloko, Kyle, Matthew, Your Cute, and Kyle on the hiddens. Rhythmic RS, Gemsy, Listia, Catburger with Gemsy and Listia, of course. Loading up those hidden mods. Let's see who will come out the other side of this one with a match point in hand. Moderate length map, this one. Just about 3 minutes long, so not the longest or shortest available to them. Definitely going to be testing some consistency. Absolutely going to be testing the nerve of the players now that we're 9 maps in. And that is a bunch of breaks. Kyle Painters have a 4-way reset. And it leaves Gemsy and Catburger as well as Rhythmic RS in the backing combo just free to fly. You saw that lead zoom over to Team Maxwell. It's already 5 million points, even with those breaks from Gemsy and Listia. Rhythmic RS and Catburger holding on just a third of the way through. Still a lot of time. But that is a 6 million point lead, and that's not what you want to see if you're Kyle Painters on your own final pick. Have to steady themselves, and they have to build the combo up and hope for some misses from those big combos on the opposing side. They get one. It's Rhythmic RS, the second largest combo breaking for Maxwell. It is down to Catburger with the full combo. It is unmatched on that full combo. Nobody on Kyle Painters is really close to it. Their highest combo, 540, but it breaks. Catburger misses, as does Rhythmic RS. Matthew as well, but it doesn't really matter. It is on Korean Moloko and Your Cute's shoulders, who have a several hundred combo advantage over Gemsy and Listia of Team Maxwell. That 5 million point lead is going to start to come down, and it's going to start to look a little bit tenuous here. Ignore the bottom row. Matthew and Kyle are irrelevant at this point. It is all on Korean Moloko and Your Cute. They would love to see a break from Gemsy or Listia, but instead it's a break from Your Cute, and that's gonna slow that combo. That's gonna slow that score coming back over. It's gonna mean Maxwell can hold on. Not a lot of time left now at the ending. A 7 million point lead seems pretty safe, with Matthew and Kyle unable to build up any sort of combo in the second half of the map, and with Your Cute finding a couple of late breaks. There's just not going to be anything Korean Moloko can do all by himself, as Rhythmic RS and Listia, as well as Catburger, hold combo into the ending. It's a full reset! It's a full reset for Maxwell. Korean Moloko still holding on. Unfortunately for him, it's a 7 million point deficit. If there was any backing combo for Kyle Painters, this might have been possible. But unfortunately, Korean Moloko, the only one holding in the last half of the map, means that the combo was just not there. The comeback was not there. And Maxwell take the point, the first break point we've seen since the second pick of the match. And Maxwell will now have their own pick with a match point as they try to close this one out and move onward to the quarterfinals in the winner's bracket. Very impressive performance from Korean Moloko. It's unfortunately just not enough. Always a shame to see a play like that go effectively wasted. And now Kyle Painters have to dig incredibly deep. They will have to figure out how to get a break point on the last pick of Team Maxwell to force a tiebreaker. And that is a tough, tough task. There's a lot of picks left here with this pool being as big as it is. You've got 4 different nomads still available. 1 each from Hard Rock and DT, with Hard Rock 4, DT 4, and free mods 2 and 4 both available as well. So plenty of options. Maxwell has gone 3 straight DT picks. They went DT2, DT5, DT1. So if they want it, DT4 is available to them as that last pick. Otherwise, it's going to be something completely different. Nothing else in this pool remaining is really all that similar to the picks that they've gone with so far. I kind of feel like this should be DT4, the way Kyle Painters are playing today. The problem with DT4, as they do pick it, the problem with this map is that it's very hard to be consistent on. You have a couple of massive diff spikes and a lot of free combo. And so who hits and who misses the diff spike completely determine the outcome of this map. I do think this was probably the best available option for them, but that still doesn't mean I love it in general. We'll have to see how it ends up playing out. I think this has been a skill set that Maxwell has won so far this match. They dropped free mod 3, but they won DT2, DT5, DT1. So, you know, a decent enough spot for them to be in to feel comfortable with picking this last. But Kyle Painters is a team that can show up on a map like this, and I could see a world where they steal this away. This is the longest map in the DT pool at 2 minutes and 53 seconds. It's the fastest map in the DT, or second fastest map in the DT pool, but the truly fastest map at 263 BPM. You know, Tide Machine 294 BPM, but it's an alt map, so that BPM doesn't really, you know, effectively end up being the same. And this late on in a match, you know, assuming you are still, you know, relatively, you know, ready to play, as it were, you're still comfortable with the speedier stuff, it's going to be a big factor. And in we go to the only match point that a team will have of their own accord, with DT4 for Team Maxwell holding on, clinging to that 5-4 lead. First, Korean, Moloko, Woodsy, and Kyle trying to take a break point and force TB against Rhythmic RS, Gemsy, Rouge, and Olive. I'm looking out for Kyle, because he was, you know, in a spot of bother on some of the DTs previously. We'll see if Korean Moloko can put up another huge carry performance as he becomes an early victim of that difficult patterning. It's a 3-way on Gemsy, Olive, and Rouge against a 2-way on Curtis and Woodsy. Advantage Maxwell in the early goings. And now it's just all about holding combo until the next difficult part of the map, because none of this section should really prove troublesome to any of these players. This is just some very basic aim and a couple of little doubles and triples, so nothing crazy. We have seen people break in this section, and it is extremely damaging to their team's score to have that happen. But for the most part, you expect everyone to hold through most of this pick. And that is exactly what's happening. There is a break from Olive, but fortunately it's traded by Kyle. Gives maybe a 10 combo lead to Kyle Painters, but it's negligible at best. It needs to be another break for Maxwell for Team Kyle Painters to have a chance here, and preferably for them, that break would be on Gemsy or on Rouge. but so far, looking pretty comfortable on all those 3 remaining combos for both teams. 6 players looking very strong. Little shakes from Curtis. There goes Korean Malako. It's traded. Gemsy matches the miss, and it's Curtis and Woodsy versus Rhythmic RS and Rouge. That actually technically helps out Kyle Painters, albeit only by about 100 combo. And there goes Woodsy as well. That's extremely bad, but there goes Rhythmic RS. They're just trading breaks back and forth. And now it's Curtis versus Rouge with Kyle on a backing combo that could work to bring this score gap back. It is quite close, 2 million points. If Curtis holds and Kyle maintains this combo, the score gap is going to come back over. But the question is, how far toward their side will the score go? Will it be enough? Can they avoid any last-minute misses? And Malako breaks. So does Kyle. And now it is Curtis versus Rouge. The backing combo, though, still in Kyle Page's favor with Woodsy on 400 versus Gemsy on 300. Woodsy does break. Oh, it's going to come down to the most minimal of factors here, but Gemsy breaks as well, and that is the ending. As we come into the slow sliders, I believe it is enough. Curtis pulls through, coming up huge in the clutch with the full combo for Kyle Painters. They force the tiebreaker, 5-all in this match, our second tiebreaker of the day, and it's in our last match of the week. Very impressive stuff from both of these teams. They had the answers when they needed them. Kyle Painters twice went down a break point, and both times they immediately got the break point on back. First time, all it did was tie the matchup at 1-1, but this time it ties the matchup at 5-5, and it forces a TB. We are going to go into the 7-star, 5.5 minute long Rapidity is a Justice. 195 BPM. Zai. Loved. High breaker map. How is this by Zai and not by Dematori? This is the other Zai, though, right? It's not. It's like this is the Toho Zai as opposed to the. Somebody needs to do some research on that for me because I don't actually know how this works. It certainly sounds a lot like a Dematori thing, you know? Believe we should be about set to go here. With Peekapoo, Korean Malako, Woodsy, and Kyle, Rhythmic RS, Gemsy, Rouge, and Olive. This one is for all the marbles. A spot in the quarterfinals against One Dance is at stake. The loser will, of course, drop down to loser's bracket, so they will still be alive, but you'd much rather be in that winner's quarterfinal than you would in the loser's round 2 next week. And, you know, we've got the king of hidden consistency, Peekapoo, in. I feel like known more than about anyone else in this lobby for being just really solid on this kind of map. But map 11 of the match, big nerves at play, a lot at stake in this tiebreaker scenario. Weighs heavily on the mind, just as much as it does on the physical demands placed on the body to play the map properly. So away we go. Who's going to be the hero of the moment? We saw Curtis step up on that DT to send the match to tiebreaker in the first place. Now it's going to be up to his teammates, as he is not in for the tiebreaker, to try and make that worth it. Meanwhile, Maxwell, after dropping the break point on the one match point that anyone was ever going to have in this match, have to kind of recover and regroup. We get early traded misses from Kyle and from Aleph. Neither of them happy, but fortunately for their teams, it's not going to have much of an effect on the overall score, both with Hidden, both breaking at a very similar point. So the combos are going to stay quite even. As we continue onward, just gets scarier and scarier, you know, especially on score V1. It's a slow slider for Woodsy and Kyle. Oh, that's why sight reading a tiebreaker can be dangerous. Aleph breaks on the next stream, but it's really not what's going to matter. There goes Jemsy on the next set of streams. Rouge follows him up, and it's Pikapun and Korean Malko holding strong as there goes Pikapun. So now it is Korean Malko versus Rhythmic RS, two of the players who've been performing the best over the course of this entire match. Korean Malko has been the rock, the anchor for his team in much of this one. And Rhythmic RS has had some remarkably good performances as well. And they're the two with the combos still intact as we reach toward the halfway mark. Team Maxwell with a 5 million point lead. Just that superior backing combo towards Jemsy, Aleph, and Rouge compared to Kyle, Woodsy, and Pikapun. But still a lot of match to go as Korean Malko breaks on the cut stream. That is dangerous. Rhythmic RS now holding on for dear life. He is the sole FC left in the lobby as Kyle and Woodsy break. Korean Malko falls again. This could get out of hand in a hurry here. The longer Rhythmic RS holds, the worse it looks for Kyle Painters. Aleph and Rouge both do break. It kind of helps to mitigate, but the important one, it's a three-way break. The important one is still Rhythmic RS. He still has the FC, and nobody on Kyle Painters is anywhere close to that combo. Yes, look at what that score lead has already done. It's 35 million points. Maxwell are in the driver's seat. Pikapun falls. That was the only combo left. Rhythmic RS finally drops his FC, but he's at nearly 60 million points. He has done his job and then some to establish this mammoth lead for Maxwell. And now they just need to hold on. There's not a lot that Kyle Painters can really do. The amount of combo you need to build up in order to recover 33 million points is massive. And with a third of the way to go, there is still a decent amount of time, but they need to hold on all of their members, and they need to have Maxwell continue to find these misses like they are in this slightly slower section on Jemsy and Rouge. Rhythmic RS and Aleph pretty far behind the combo of guys like Korean Malko and Woodsy on the other side. Score gap down to 24 million points. It will dwindle slowly but surely. The only question is, will there be enough time? The weight on the shoulders of Korean Malko and Woodsy is as the Earth is to Atlas. And another break from Rhythmic RS and Aleph. This is getting scary now. It felt like Maxwell ran out to a big enough lead with 40 million points in their favor, but they just cannot put anything together in the back third of this map. Meanwhile, Kyle Painters just put their heads down, and they are grinding this one out. That lead is coming down. You've got 1,000 combo on Woodsy. You've got 940 combo on Korean Malko. It is 4 million, 3 million points, and continuing to drop. We're going to come into the ending, and that lead goes over. What a clutch performance we're seeing here once again from Kyle Painters. The late breaks from Pikapun and Woodsy, but Kyle and Korean Malko now holding into the ending, and look at the combo on the other side. It's 600 on Rouge and nothing on anyone else. Kyle Painters is going to clutch this out. Rhythmic RS's performance is going to go for naught as Korean Malko will end up matching him and then some. It feels like you can get out to the biggest lead you want in the first half, but when there's this much combo in the second half, it just doesn't matter if you can't hold. And Kyle and Korean Malko, now just Kyle, have managed to do exactly that. This is an amazing comeback from Kyle Painters on this tiebreaker. From 40 million points down, they end up the victors by 20 million on the tiebreaker. 6-5, the final score, onward into the quarterfinals. Go Kyle Painters, 6-5 on a tiebreaker that it felt like they were down and out of half the way through. Korean Malko and Kyle said, ain't no way we're losing this one just like that. They let their opponents collapse, and they kept those combos going and they made this match happen. They made this comeback happen. Back-to-back wins on the DT4 and on the tiebreaker for the 6-5 final. And those were some incredible scores, might I add. Only 2 misses on Kyle with a 1267 combo with hidden, mind you. 1250 combo as well on Korean Maluko. It felt like Rhythmic RS did enough, but unfortunately just didn't end up having the support from his team that he would have needed. And it allowed Kyle Painters to claw their way back in and to take the victory. They snatch victory, you know, from the claws of defeat. And onward they go. They'll match up, as I said, against One Dance next week in that winner's bracket quarterfinals match, which now looks a little more interesting. One Dance looks very strong, but Kyle Painters has proven that they can be clutch when they need to. Really, really impressive stuff we have just witnessed. An amazing performance from both sides, honestly. GG well played to both of these teams. This was a pleasure to watch. It was a pleasure to be a part of. So congratulations to Kyle Painters, our final victors of the weekend. The 8th and final team to go onward into the winner's bracket quarterfinals. Maxwell, of course, the last team to drop down to loser's bracket for this week. They'll face off against Team Troll next weekend. And that's going to do it for us here today. We've had some amazing matches, another tiebreaker, some very close other matches, some great performances from other teams. It's been a fun Sunday. It's been a fun weekend here, and that's going to do it for it. This brings it to a close, caps things off quite nicely. This is the cherry on top, you know? Later on this evening, we'll have, of course, the quarterfinals Map Pool Showcase. Map Pool Showcases occur on Habib time, so I can't tell you when exactly that'll be. All I can tell you is to make sure to follow the stream so you'll notified when we go live with that showcase. Find out some fun maps the players are going to be seeing next weekend. I can tell you already, there are some absolute bangers in that pool. You won't want to miss out on that. And then, of course, later this evening, I'll have the pool and schedule released, so those will be announced in the Discord server. If you're not there already, hit the link down below the stream to join that server to get all of the notifications when things happen and how they happen. Everybody here at HippoCup, thank you guys for watching. Congratulations again to Kyle Painters. GG well played to both of these teams. And we will see you guys later on tonight for the quarterfinals Map Pool Showcase as HippoCup 6 rolls onward. Bye-bye for now.